Welcome back for a very special return video, my batlings. I hope you are all well. It has definitely been a tumultuous couple of seasons away, dealing with health and changes galore. So, hooray for spooky season. Let's see if we can get the hands to cooperate and hold on to our knitting needles. We're listening to some spooky music. My daughter's doing her makeup. We got the AC on because Texas is still really warm. And I guess still have my bat bag that on camera at the moment to me looks candy corn. I'm here for it and I love it. So we left off with the long tail cast on, if we remember, or the slingshot. Just grab it. And we add on our stitches. We get our first 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go with 6 because it's a fun number for spooky season. Ha 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 ha. So, I wanted to update everyone because I know that before there were requests for Get Ready With Me to show you guys how I go through like my skincare and getting my foundation to lay the way I do. Being 35 and having to go through this surgical hysterectomy and being on hormone replacement, I've had a lot of skin changes, so it's kind of good that I had to wait for a while to do that, but I've also got it set up to do some subscription unboxings and see how that goes too, kind of from a goth perspective. I thought that might be fun. We'll see what all comes in. Got some surprises in store for everyone. And now we've got our 6 stitches. We've got it turned around. So we're looking at what most likely would end up being the back. Got your tail. You can leave it there. It helps to work that in later without having too many knots. Well, this was Halloween music. So first we're just going to go with your regular, just plain stitch. We have the knit stitch and purl stitch. When you have your purl stitch, it's actually going to look like this at the back. And the front, if it's just purled. Because it's going to have that bridge over it. It makes it easier to kind of differentiate. So your purl stitch is going to have a bridge, but your knit stitch is going to be a V. So I can help you differentiate what stitch you just did if you're doing stockinette, which is that really cool, like the regular knit V kind of look. So you will want to really keep an eye on that. It was really difficult for me to get that at first because it was just picked up a book and a set. I want to say that these were probably like one of my first set of needles. And they were a little awkward. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to come into the side of this first one. I'm going to show you something. I know a lot of crocheters out there and people first-time knitters are going to ask, well, how do you keep the edges straight? I know that's usually for a separate video, but I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it's not as hard as we think. For knitting anyway, all you do is you go into it like you're going to knit that stitch, like I'm going to show you in a second, and you just slip it off. It's that easy, and that keeps your edges straight. So you go into your stitch, and you kind of go under and to the back. You have your yarn over here. Oh, my tail got in the way. Woohoo! And then we're just going to kind of bring it up here, like that rocking motion I showed you originally. And just kind of bring it around. And now we've got a loop on the other side of the one we just had. So we've got our slipped one, that's our first stitch. And then we have this big old loop we went into. We picked up that other one from the back. And we just kind of pull it through. Like so. It makes it pretty easy. And then you kind of got your little pretzel going on here. And you slide the other half of the pretzel off. And you have that beginning of that V stitch there for that knit stitch. So you're just going to keep going there. In through that front, out the back. and pull it right on through. It is, honestly, if you just kind of relax and don't overthink it, go slow, it's so much easier than we all thought it was. I thought it was so complicated, but it's not. That's why Goth Mother's School of Stitchcraft, we're here to demystify it. It's not so scary. And you just do the same thing with the last one. And now I know it looks like a bunch. It's a little awkward. Kind of unroll it just a little bit. It's a little tight. You can see your V. You can tell I haven't done this in a while. My hands are not happy. Cute, right? So this is kind of your border. But then we're just going to flip it right around. And now we can see. So we've got this awkwardly tight here, but that's the V. And we have the bridge. So this is going to be the back side, right? And this is the 2 for video girls and guys and ghouls and bats and goblins and skeletons and everything in between. I'm not just going to show you the knit stitch because you gotta have both. So, slip that first one off, right? Well, instead of working on the front, right? Because we're not going to be doing like that weird alternating thing. We're actually going to bring the yarn from the back around to the front. Okay? So, we've got it in the front here now. And to get it out of the way, kind of hold it like this for a second. For that first one. And then we just go kind of up under and through the front of that stitch. And this... oh, this is the purl stitch. You can pick it up and throw it like this. It all depends on how you hold it, your mood, everything. Nobody has to be strict and stringent the way they hold it. Make sure it's comfortable for you. What I like to do is once I've got it all in position, you gotta get it stuck out here on the first one. I'll wrap it around and then I'll set everything up for the rock position. Because it'll hold things like this. Let's see if this works, because this hand has been not so cooperative with holding things correctly. Let me just pull it through. That loop. Again, easy. Tying knots, pulling loops. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with that today. And you just pick it up. The same thing. And you got your little pretzel once you get that stitch picked up like that. Or a bow, if you want to call it a bow. So I'm going to flip it around. See? And that's the back side of it. There you go. I was so happy when I finally picked it up and it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. It's relaxing. I get to make fun stuff for people that I care about. Now this yarn, I am actually going to take this apart afterwards. I just wanted to be able to show you because it's fun for spooky season. It's easy to see. I'm actually working on a lap blanket for the real Monroe, Jake Monroe, one of my favorite YouTubers. I know he always gets cold in the studio, and well, Goth blankets are just not always the warmest, I guess. So I wanted to make something special. But now we've got it turned around. So there's our border on the bottom. And we've got our V's lining up nice. And we got that border stitch. It's kind of going to go an alternating stitch. You'll see it when it comes out as a border. A lot of times I like to do just anywhere between like 2 and 4. And it creates this really cute rib on the side. I do it on a lot of stuff. But you just keep going with it. And then we come back around this way again. And we're on to our next row. Slip it off like we're going to knit it. And then in, out, pulling loops through. Easy peasy. So much easier than we thought it was. Oh my goodness. If you guys want me to slow down, switch it, anything like that, just let me know. Might be a little bit bouncy because I've got you guys on like a neck harness, so it's easier to see what I'm doing. So it's kind of going with the way I'm talking. Sorry about that. But I really do. I find this so fun. And we have our back side. Now, see it a little more? It's that nice, thick, it just kind of looks like a chainmail lined up. What I do want to show you. Sorry, I know. I had to put some spooky colors in the background. I love it. I want to show you the rest of this blanket. So I have this here in the licorice. And this one, I can't find the color on it. Parakeet, there we go. I love it. Because I know Jake's always talking about he can never find like the right lime green. And he likes lime green with his looks, right? So I have the lime green. And I have the licorice. And this is what we've got so far. Check it out. This is, see, when we get it all lined up, you get the bees. This hasn't been blocked or washed or stretched or anything. I'm still working on it because my hands just had to stop cooperating. And this has gotten quite heavy. So our Goth Lord and Savior will be nice and toasty warm in the studio, wherever he wants to take it. And that's, I love it. It's not going to be huge. I switched it up to this lace stitch, which I'll show you guys later on. Kind of reminds me a little fishnet style, or like the awesome striped Killstar jumper. I love it, but it makes like the middle part of it a little more light and breathable, so you don't get too warm. I hope Jake likes it because I just thought these colors were super cute. And this pattern is just from the striping. It's accidental, nothing on purpose, but it really is. I think it's cute for all around spookies, because spooky season doesn't end here. And we are at 12 minutes. I love you all, Batlings. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hopefully soon we will work on our Get Ready With Me and subscription unboxings. I'm looking forward to trying to be able to film. I've got a toddler that's hit 3-nager and no longer naps. So we're trying things a little differently, and my daughter will be helping sometimes. But I won't put her face in because YouTube and internet is a creepy place. I hope everyone has a safe and happy spooky season and beyond. And don't let the panorama get you down. If you need anything, your cauldron's always here. And hopefully everyone has a phenomenal, safe Halloween.